Okay, you Range Rover chappies with your lt95 gearboxes will know all about these. This is the diff lock plunger. Diff lock plunger for the vacuum operated centre diff lock. And I thought I'd go into these because I've been doing a little bit of investigation myself, and I thought I'd share it with you. So here's the side of an lt95 gearbox, back end and bell housing down here. And this grubby item here, that's the vacuum receiver, I guess, for the diff lock, which is in here. And there's the warning switch on the top now. The only purpose of the warning switch is to light up the light on the dashboard or the plunger itself on early a-suffix cars to tell you the diff lock is engaged. And all we're really doing in here is the output shaft on the front and the rear are connected via the differential in the middle, which is around here. But what they're effectively then going to do is they'll lock up the drive between the two prop shafts by moving a fork in here, which moves then a fork on the gears. I can show you that in a video that I did on the b-suffix. Now, there's two pipes that come off this vacuum receiver thing down here, and they are two pipes, and they both go up to the base of the vacuum switch, the vacuum plunger I should say. We'll call that the switch. The switch really is just an electronic warning device, so don't get too bogged down with that. Okay, this bit here, the two vacuum pipes, is what engages or disengages the diff lock. And when you're looking at this thing, you're thinking, oh my god, that's so horrifically complicated. But no, it isn't really. It's dead easy. So you've got three pipes on the bottom here. Two of these pipes go to that vacuum receiver, and one pipe takes the vacuum from the engine, from the inlet manifold. So you'll notice the three pipes here, they're in two different orientations. So these two point this way, that one points that way. That one is the one that goes to the engine. So that takes the vacuum from the inlet manifold, just behind the carburetors, and then depending on whether this plunger is up or down, dictates on which one of these the vacuum is fed through. Okay, it's as simple as that. Now, excuse me, coughity cough face. What I tend to do when testing these things is put a length of vacuum hose onto the engine side, plunger down, and if I blow through this or suck through this, whichever way you want to do, so you can hear the air going through it. Now, if I block off this pipe here, you can't hear it anymore. That is for diff lock closed or diff lock disengaged. This is for diff lock engaged. So if I now block this one, that's a beautifully functioning diff lock switch, diff lock plunger. Okay, so we know that one works. Actually belongs to the customer. Of these, I picked this off of eBay. It was advertised as spares repair kind of thing, but it looks quite new, doesn't it really? So I've not actually tested this one yet. The plunger operation works nicely. So let's connect up the pipe for the engine. Right, this one doesn't work at all. So this has got a leak in here somewhere. So that one don't work. I suspect that that would not engage nor disengage the diff lock, because there's not enough of a vacuum that's being retained within the unit that is that's able to go through. So that one would certainly cause some running issues on the engine. Now, let me just turn you around, clankety 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 clank. Thought I'd take one apart here, because this one also wasn't working. I'll show you what they look like on the inside. So, let me take it out onto the bench. So there's your plunger. And basically all I've done here is I've taken the box off the outside of it by twisting back the lugs on the back here. Take the box off, bend the base plate out because I wanted to see really what was going on here. And now what I've effectively got is the plunger goes up and down. That is part of the spring. Now if you look here, that's where the wire comes out of, but it's got a nice clunky action to it, and that's because there's a little coiled spring that goes on there which mates up against the inside of the box. So on the back of this thing, I don't think this one's ever going to be repaired actually, but on the back of this thing you can see where the 3 pipes go in. Okay, so the middle hole, that one there, you see that hole? That is where the engine vacuum feeds to, and these 2 holes are where it goes to. That's what does it. So on here we end up with this small rubber plate. So the idea is that that gets held nice and tightly down against the back plate, and the vacuum then, when I blow into there, the vacuum should come straight out of this one, and if I move the plunger up, okay, it does exactly the same thing but through that one. So the leak is coming through the interface between this rubber plate and this metal plate here. So it should be relatively easy to fix. Now, in order to put some pressure onto this thing, first of all, you've got the box. This spring thing is going to get on my tits, isn't it? Fuck off. There we are, first swear word, Richard. So the plunger, sorry, that's the wrong way up. The skid plate, whatever you want to call it, goes there. And if you look on the back of it, there's actually just a simple, very simple hole. Let's clean that out because it's full of gank. There we are. Someone's obviously been in here. The reason I took this one apart is someone had taken it apart before, so I thought, this was my one. So I thought, well, do you know what? We'll see what's going on here. And you can see there's just a recess in the back of it. And the recess is going to be more or less big enough to bridge either of the 2 holes, but only those 2 holes to the centre hole. So in effect, if we've then got a vacuum leak when we're sucking on this or blowing on this, if we've got a leak when we're blowing on this and the air is coming out of both of these pipes, or neither of the pipes, then it's because this plate here has not stuck down onto the back plate firmly enough. Okay, now there is a metal spring clip here which is designed to kind of sit above the rubber plate. You're very cack-handed today, Richard. Sit above the metal plate, and if I push that into position and lift that over the top and push that down, and then when the box is on the back, you can see that puts some weight over the back of the plunger. And now if I hold that nice and tight and put the engine vacuum on there, hold it nice and tight, and the tighter I hold that, the better the operation. Okay, and then move it up to the other one. But I have to hold it pretty tight. So I guess you can repair them. I don't know what it is that wears out. It could be this block is wearing itself out. It could be that the block is no longer flat. It's got itself distorted. So perhaps by flattening that off, you might end up improving the situation. I'll certainly have a go at this one later on, but not now, and let you know the success rate of it. But this little featurette really is around showing you what these things are and how simple they are and how you can take them apart and how they work and how it's probably not that difficult to fix them. Is it? No. No, it isn't, Richard. Right. Hope you enjoyed that.